Y'all already know him. Pull up at 2 a.m. so I own the gym. So like I say, man, an empty gym is paradise for anybody who lift weights and really lift weights and don't want to chatty patty and talk and hang out and conversate and socialize, all right? So I got an empty gym, probably one or two people over there, but I'm gonna put the weights on this other bench, and then I'm gonna bench right here, right? Starting with the bar butt naked, nothing on the bar. Somebody left a drink right here, so I'm gonna scoot it over here to the other bench, make it look like somebody actually working right there, right? So when I say that to say this. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? I'm getting warming up with 45 pounds, nothing on the bar. The bar is 45 pounds. Have you ever, and can you relate? I took 4 or 5 days off, right? Almost a week. Great rest, great recovery, great calories, and all that. Feeling great, but as soon as I started lifting, like my hip was already kind of hurting for some reason. But as soon as I started lifting, I started getting like sniffles, couldn't breathe right. That's not an excuse. I think because there was nobody in the gym messing with me. Almost every time I go to the empty gym, I be thinking that my body, I also needed to take those headphones off because they sliding under my head. And let me tell you something before I say what I got to say. I weigh 180 pounds in the gym. I actually lifted, well, my goal was to lift 100 pounds at least, more than my body weight. And what I'm trying to say is, I meant to take them headphones off. I just took them off there kind of aggressively because I'm getting mad at myself. Because I got to remember everything that I did last time I worked out. These headphones, they suck. They slide under my head, and that's a distraction, all right? Whenever you're lifting, you don't want distractions, even if they're self-caused, right? But I'm getting the sniffles. And I'm trying my best to just go ahead and rep it out, lift anyways. I got 135 pounds on the bar. My goal was 280, right? The heaviest I've lifted lately was like 280, but I was at a lighter body weight, right? I want to at least get that on my comeback day, right? I'm not trying to burn out on my first day back, right? So I got 185 on the bar, 5 pounds over my gym weight body weight. I actually weigh like 175 morning weight if I have nothing on, if I haven't eaten or drinking anything. Morning weight coming out of bed 175, right? So in the gym right now I'm 180. So I want to go 100 pounds above that. All right. At my lowest weight I can lift, I want to at least be able to at all times do 100 pounds above my body weight, right? And I want to work up to doing 150 pounds above my body weight at least before I decide to gain any more weight, right? I don't want to just get fat, but I also want to keep my pound for pound strength, right? So I don't want to put a whole bunch of weight on my body, and I keep forgetting to take them headphones off. I took them off there. I got 225 pounds on the bar. I had two decisions. Do I want to lift heavy, or do I want to do a lot of reps with lighter weight? Now, a lot of people seen me do 225 for like 10 reps recently, right? Same weight I'm doing now, but I'm going to do it for 1 rep. Why? I want to conserve energy so I could go heavier. And I had a big other problem too. If you look at my wrist and my hands, my arms, they're shaking as I'm lifting, even though this isn't that heavy of weight to me, right? So I'm going up slight increments, right? So I put a 10 on each side, 245. So I'm going to go ahead and lift that. But my hands, my wrists are kind of wanting to do, like, you know how a motorcycle, you do the wrist thing? Is my hands want to actually do that, and that's dangerous. And I forgot to take my headphones off again, and it threw me off. Everything's going bad for me right now, even though I got an empty gym. So I decided not to lift that, and I did it again. I did the same weight. I got back up, listened to some music, got back under the bar, right? Take a sip of my Gatorade, got back under the bar. Keep forgetting to take them headphones off. I'm pissing myself off right now, man. And look at my hands. Look at my hands. My next set, you can see it a lot better, right? Even though I said set, I'm doing sets of 1. So this is just 1, all right? 245, easy weight. I'm just getting back into the groove with it. You see how my arms are shaking? It's not supposed to be doing that. So I'm counting how much more I want to do. My goal was like 35 pounds heavier than this, which should be easy. But instead of doing that, I took 10 off, put 25 on, and did 275 instead of going 280 and then seeing if I go more than that. But the way it's moving, I know I could go way more than that. The way it's moving, I could tell. But you gotta think about safety, all right? I don't have a spotter. I never use spotters. I'm not telling nobody else what to do. Hey, in my opinion, my advice, you should use a spotter, all right? Don't do what I do. Do what I say, all right? So you should use a spotter. Make sure somebody that know what they're doing, and make sure if you're a beginner, do not be lifting heavy. If this is way heavier than what you can lift, or you might not think this is that heavy, because look at my wrist. It already did it. All right, I'm going to have to show y'all this scene again, but watch my wrist. I'm going to watch. I was talking too much. I'm going to do the same. I wanted to, like, motorcycle. That is dangerous. I'm going to explain in my next scene, though. You see how I'm doing all that? Just imagine what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it in the next scene. I'm going to show the scene again. I kind of messed myself up because I want to really explain that during the scene. I'm going to show the same exact scene right here. Now, when I show this scene, pay attention to my left wrist. I don't know if I said my right wrist or not, but the wrist that's the closest to the screen, right? When I go to, I'm going to show you, I'm going to pinpoint it. It didn't fully do it, of course not. It would have fell on me. But if you really look at my wrist, not right there, but as I grab the bar, as I unrack it, look at my wrist, keep looking, right, you seen that? That little jerk back and forth? Before I even picked it up. Even though it was before I picked it up, that's probably why my hands are shaking. Even though it's before I picked it up, that's a bad motor pattern that you don't want to have when you're benching. The weight could fall on me. It could fall on my face. It could fall on my chest. It can mess me up, all right? So I decided that was my last set. Even though that wasn't that heavy. It was not a struggle on how heavy it was. 275, I probably could have done 50 more pounds. So I took 50 pounds off. And usually I would do back off sets with that right there. But I decided not to, because usually I would do back off sets and then or I would have just went lighter and just finished my workout. I do not want to embed bad motor patterns into my regimen, all right? I'd rather just go home, be satisfied with what I did. I can gauge my strength. People think that you can only gauge your strength by what you did, the weight that you lifted. No, I gauge my strength also on the potential of what I could have lifted. All right, the feel of how much that felt. That 275, I'm gonna show it to you again. It was not a struggle on how much weight it was. It was just not right on how I unracked it. To the untrained eye, you might think that looked good. Look and how it feel is two different things, all right? This right here, I've done it for 2 reps recently. It used to be very light to me when I used to be in my 3s. Then I'm working my way back to. It was kind of a struggle because it threw me off. All right, I did 2 reps the other week. I could probably do 280 for 2 reps right now, or 3 reps. But it has to be on a better day, all right? Those 4 or 5 days, it took me out of my groove. I got great recovery. I got great calories. I got great rest, sleep, all that. But it took me out of my groove, all right? So, also, like I said, I'm breathing bad. My body hurt. I don't know what's wrong with me, actually, but it's like, I don't know. But you live to live another day. If something don't feel right, leave. You know what I'm saying? Or do something else. Like, I could have done some cardio. I could have done something that I didn't have to lay under the bar. This is a bench press, all right? You're under the bar. A lot of people be thinking that deadlift is the most dangerous out of the 3, bench, squat, and deadlift, right? If I'm deadlifting, the bar is on the ground. I can leave it there if it don't come up right. If you're bench pressing, the bar is literally above your body. You're squatting, the bar is actually on your body. Come on now. Think about it. Take a second. Matter of fact, I'm just saying. So, 300 pounds or more is coming back very soon. I'm not going to gain a pound more than what I weigh until I'm in my 3s again. I promise. And I like to earn my weight. All right. I'm bulking, but at the same time, my bulk could be on a pause. Because, of course, if I just was to gain weight and keep lifting, 350 might come back real soon, but I might weigh like 2 something. I ain't trying to weigh 2 something. All right?